What's going on, boys? I recently made a video showing foods that are really good for dieting, really good for getting you in a deficit, and I am currently on my cut. I've lost about 4 kilo in about 4 weeks. I probably want to lose about 2 more kilo, but if you follow all my Instagram stories and what I post on my reels and my other YouTube videos, it's not about the number, it's more about, like, can't really see because the sunshine, but it's more about the physique. How does the physique look? Like, I don't care. I'm getting pretty lean, probably the leanest. I'm trying to get this, I don't know. I'm getting pretty lean right now, probably the leanest that I've been in, honestly, over 2 years. Like, I was fucking 90 kilo at one point, which was like over a year ago or something. I don't know how long ago that was, and I've lost a lot of weight. And you know, during the weight loss, you have to find ways to make it easier, because yes, I'm disciplined, yes, you know, I really want this shit and that's how I'm able to achieve it. But in order to like really get lean and really have your abs showing and still have a nice physique, then you're gonna need to know some information which I guess the general public doesn't know, and why it makes dieting a lot harder for them. So look, I've just come back from the gym. On my way home, I stopped at Sainsbury's and I'm literally just showing you what I'm eating today. But what I've got in this bag is foods that are very high in either protein or volume or fiber and very low in calories. Now, in order for me to lose weight, I need to be eating an extremely low amount of calories during the week. And the reason for that is because I like to fucking eat. So when it comes to the weekend, what happens is I eat a lot more than your average Joe. Even this weekend that just finished, on Saturday, the full day, I had almost 6,000 calories. Add that to the calories I had on Saturday, I ended up on the weekend with 8,000 calories. Now, you're probably thinking, how the hell are you having 8,000 calories on a weekend and still losing weight? Because I am. Because I've lost over a kilo since last week. And the reason I'm able to do that is because of this brand new name, phenomenon, tactic, strategy, whatever you want to call it, called calorie banking. And I say brand new because Instagram and TikTok and YouTube have recently started talking about this more and more. But brother, I've been doing calorie banking before it even had its fucking name. So I'm going to explain to you what calorie banking is. Now, first and foremost, if you follow my shit, you know when I'm cutting and when my clients are cutting, I like to put myself and I like to put them in an aggressive cut. The reason why we want an aggressive cut rather than, you know, just a cut where you only take off a few hundred calories off of your maintenance is because, yes, it makes it harder. Yes, it makes it 100% more challenging. You have to sacrifice more, but it also makes it quicker. Now, there's something called diet fatigue. This is when you've been dieting for too long that after 3 months, shit gets so fucking hard and everything is dead. You don't want to eat these fucking low calorie foods anymore. You don't want to be dieting anymore. You don't want to be eating chicken breast anymore. You just don't want to be in a diet no more. And when it gets to that point, you just fucking let loose and forget about your diet. When you are doing an aggressive cut, it stops you from reaching the point of diet fatigue because it is a lot shorter. You reduce your calories by quite a lot, by 1,000 calories under your maintenance, which I understand is a lot of calories that you're not having, but it just means that you're going to be able to be in this deficit a lot faster and then eventually start building up your calories again to either be in a maintenance or get into a lean bulk. And so it's the strategy I use for myself. I absolutely love it. It means that not only am I doing this as quick as possible, another reason why you want to do an aggressive cut is because dieting's hard. Whether you do a normal cut, you know, a few hundred calories off maintenance, a mid-range cut where you do 500 calories off maintenance, or an aggressive cut when you do 1,000+ calories off of maintenance per day. It's going to be hard regardless. You're going to get hungry regardless. right? So doing an aggressive cut will mean that you lose weight faster. Not only what I mentioned before, you get out of the cut even quicker and start increasing your calories sooner, but also this means that you lose more weight faster, and that gives you the fucking motivation to want to stay in this cut, to want to keep eating healthy. When you are on an aggressive cut and you can see 1 kilo going down every single week, that is an unbelievable feeling. And you have literally, you feel this sense of achievement that you don't care if you're hungry sometimes. The next week after that, you're like, do you know what? I've already lost a kilo. I'm about to lose another one. And when you do get hungry, you don't care. You understand that it's not that deep. You understand that, okay, you might have a black coffee. You might have a few berries to keep you going. But you haven't died. You're still alive. Nothing bad has happened to you. In fact, there are only benefits for you doing an aggressive cut. I don't see why anyone would not want to do an aggressive cut. It doesn't make sense to me. I've lost 1 kilo over 1 month, and I've lost 1 kilo over 1 week, and I can tell you every single time which one I prefer. Bloody hell, I sound like my man from fucking Wolf of Wall Street. I've been rich and I've been poor, and I choose rich every single time. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. What the fuck have I got in this bag, and why have I been shouting at the camera for the past 5 minutes, talking a bunch of PT coach BS jokes? It's obviously not BS. All right, so I am actually, funnily enough, the day we're speaking on, I'm currently on a 36-hour fast, maybe even 72. I'm not sure. It's currently Tuesday. The time is 12 o'clock or something, and I haven't eaten since Sunday night, where if you've been following my Instagram stories where I post all of my shit, my day-to-day stuff, I had chicken and broccoli with 0 sugar ketchup, low calorie, high volume, high protein, and that's kept me going until Tuesday lunch, where I'm about to get in my house and munch away, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to eat to keep me on track. But I'm relatively hungry right now. Sometimes I eat 1 meal a day when I'm on a cut, you know, like a 1,000-calorie meal. Sometimes I'm on 2 meals a day. Oh, I also forgot, my bad. Let me just rewind a little bit because I forgot to mention also what I do with calorie banking. I got way too distracted. So the whole idea of calorie banking is that, let's say I'm on 1,500 calories a day. 1,500 calories a day wouldn't necessarily mean that I'd have to eat 1,500 calories every single day, because like I mentioned before, on the weekend I will 100%, 1,000,000,000% eat more calories. So that means I have to take those calories from somewhere. And where do I take them from? I take them from the middle of the week. So Monday to Thursday, that's when I go for lower calorie days. So yesterday was Monday, I had 0 calories. I'm not necessarily recommending you do this. The only reason why I did it, the main reason, was because I find 1 meal a day a little bit too easy at this point of my career and where I am and how long I've been, you know, dieting and my experience with it. And I wanted to know what the suffering feels like, what the pain feels like, what being hungry feels like, because, you know, I train a bunch of people and they'll eat 2 meals a day, but then, you know, they'll be hungry throughout the day, and I don't really get that as much because my body's just so used to, you know, the idea of not eating. And so I wanted to know what it feels like, so I went extra hard and I fasted. But anyway, 1,500 calories a day times 7 is 10,000 or 11,000 calories, somewhere in that range, right? I don't have my phone with me. I'm recording with my phone. Tell a lie, I do have another phone here. Not a drug dealer, work phone in that. So 1,500 calories times 7, not times 4, not times 1, times 7, I was right, 10,500 calories. Now, that 10,500 calories, I need to spread out throughout the week. Now, if I'm eating 8,000 calories a day, a weekend, which is what I did, that only leaves me with 2,500 calories, which for 4 days, 2,500 calories is ridiculously low. Let me divide that by 4. That's 625 calories a day. I think if I go on my check-in hub and see how many calories I actually had last week, on average, I believe it was 1,700. So I didn't go for 1,500. I went for 1,700 a day. But the reason why I said 1,500 was because I just tried to make it a round number. And it will just help me make my point. But you get the point. If you're going to eat more calories on the weekend, then you need to eat less calories during the week. And during the week, it is easier. You're at work, you're literally in routine every single day. You're doing the same thing. You're waking up, you're going to the gym, you're going to work, you're coming back home. Like, you can eat 2 meals a day and easily have 1,000 calories if you focus on the right foods, which I've got a few bits and pieces to show you in here. So as we can see over here, let me see, is this my program? Doesn't look like my program. Hold on a minute. Bear with me. This phone is a little bit broken, and I'll tell you why I have it that way. So something we use at the Arvitz Academy for myself and all my clients, we use something called the check-in hub, where we basically track all of our shit. Track weight, sleep, calories, protein, steps, whatever. And so let me just show you. This was last week. I'm not sure how well you will be able to see. Maybe I'll put a screenshot up here if I remember in the edit. But essentially, I had a daily average of 1,700 calories. And last week, Monday, I was, let's do it off Tuesday. Last week, Tuesday, I was 73 kg. All right, so that phone has just turned off because it says the temperature's too hot. All right, so we're gonna have to put this phone here. Anyways, last week I was about 73 kg, 73.2 kg, and this morning I was about 70.8. So quite a substantial amount of weight lost in this time. Let's hope this phone cools down a little bit. Now, if you're wondering why I actually have, this phone, which is completely smashed, it is purely for one reason and one reason only. There is a Skepta song, and it goes, I made a milli off a phone with the cracked screen, so don't beat around the bush, please say what you mean. I know my singing's not great, but essentially that's what he's saying. He made $1 million off his phone with a cracked screen, and this is my work phone, the one I'm now recording on, the one that you saw 2 seconds ago, and my goal is to repeat that lyric with Skepta and actually have made that $1 million with the cracked screen. Anyway, enough with the jibber jabber, although I've given a lot of value over there, and I'm very, very happy that you understood all of that. Make sure to take notes if you need. But let's go through my bag of foods that are extremely high in protein or high in fiber, definitely high in volume, and definitely low in calories, because that's kind of the 4 things you want to look for when you're dieting. You want to look for, you want to pick up a food from the aisle and you want to go over that checklist. Is it low in calories? Is it high in volume? Must be those 2 things. Then, is it high in protein or is it high in fiber? Generally, you'll have an item that's high in protein and you'll have an item that's high in fiber, and you'll pair those 2 items together for a meal. I do apologize. I'm getting bloody hot in this car. Fuck me. Maybe I need to take the roof down. Yeah, maybe we should. Fuck it. Oh, the boot separator is open. 1 second. All right, so the first food that I'm going to show you is a fillet steak. Now, these bad boys are extremely high in protein and very low calories. So for one of these, you have about 180 calories for about 35 grams of protein. Now, when you're looking at the protein to calorie ratio, you always want to make sure that foods that are high in protein have at least minimum 1 gram of protein for every 10 calories. So if a food has 100 calories, it must have minimum 10 grams of protein. This food obviously exceeds that. It's got over 30 grams of protein for less than 200 calories. Absolutely amazing. Add that to your shopping basket. Let's see what else we got in here. Now, I'm going to have that later for dinner tonight with broccoli. Now, I don't know how you like your broccoli cooked, but I like my broccoli cooked, like boiled to oblivion. I boil that shit for 20 minutes straight because I like it really soft. If I had more time, I'd also stick it in the oven, get it a little bit crispy afterwards, but that's just personally how I like it. This, again, is very low in calories and very high volume. Quite a lot of food there for, I think, about 100 calories. It's also got high fiber and it's also got high protein as well. It's not a main protein source that's going to help so much with muscle growth, but it's still going to help. Protein's protein at the end of the day. This phone looks like it is alive again, so we are just going to switch over. Yep. All right, we're back on this bad boy. What else have we got in here? Now, I have a massive sweet tooth, and so after my meal of steak and broccoli, which total here is less than 300 calories for like 55 grams of protein to calorie ratio off the fucking charts. Does it beat the 110 rule? Absolutely it does. 1 gram of protein for 10 calories, much better than that. So after I have that, I'm gonna need something sweet. Now, I love chocolate. If I could eat chocolate every day of my life, believe you me, I would. I also once had a cake addiction. Back when I was living in Israel, my dad used to buy this cake every single week and it would be gone within 5 minutes. He'd be like, what the fuck, son? Where's the, why do you leave me, son? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was just too good not to eat. And so I kind of built my cake addiction out in Israel. Ever since then, I have been a little bit better and I have improved with my cake addiction. If there is cake out in front of me, it will be very hard for me not to eat it. Just on Saturday lunchtime, I went out for lunch and there was a carrot cake, which of course I bought as a gift for the people I went to for lunch. And I had the cake out in front of me and I had one slice and there was more cake left over and I didn't eat it, and it was extremely hard. I'll be completely honest with you. It was very hard not to eat it. I was staring at it. I was picking up crumbs off my plate after I had finished my slice of the cake. But I had to be very disciplined because I track everything on the weekend. Even though I don't use my phone on Shabbat, I still track it because afterwards what I do is I take a mental note when I'm eating it, what I'm eating, and then I'll put it in ChatGPT after to get an estimated calories and protein. That's how I fill in my check-in hub, what I showed you earlier before, in order for me to stay on track and actually continuously lose weight. Because we all know the weekends is where it goes wrong. So if you're not losing weight on the weekend, if you're not tracking on the weekend, then you probably won't be losing weight. You're probably gonna get to a point where you overeat your calories, you won't know how to adjust for the upcoming week, and you're gonna continue staying and plateauing with your weight. And that's happened to me over and over again, multiple times over. So I've lived through this, and that's why I now make sure I track on the weekend. One of the reasons why I do this is because I rewrit my goals like 2 weeks ago. I wrote down what my goal is, that I want to get absolutely shredded, I want to get lean, I want to build a fucking tank of a physique, and I want to be a good role model for anyone who wants to do the same. And so in order for me to do that, I need to practice what I preach. And that means also tracking on the weekend, because that's exactly what I tell all of my clients to do. And if I can do that for myself, then I can help my guys do that as well. So my little sweet treat is actually not chocolate, it's raspberries. Now, I never used to like raspberries, I never used to like any berries, but raspberries, guys, raspberries are the lowest amount of calorie sweet treat that you are going to find on the market. They also have very high fiber, and there's quite a lot in here which will fill you up. Not only raspberries, but also blackberries, strawberries, blueberries, any fucking name with berries at the end, that's going to sort you right out. You know, we've got about 48 calories in here. I'm not sure exactly how much. 48 calories for all of these raspberries. So I'm just thinking whether or not it's a good idea to have my car switched on for the audio. I'll be right back. Gonna have to check if the audio's come through on this. I'm just gonna switch my car off as well. Sorry, 1 second, mate. All right, no problem. Switch the car off anyways. But raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, you might not like them to begin with. I never used to, but then I just decided that I needed to stop being a bitch. Come on, mate. It's really hard not to like these. If you make yourself eat them for the first few times and realize how they help you achieve your goal and help you lose weight very fast, you will begin to like them. They are actually very nice. You're at least going to find one berries, if it's blackberries, strawberries, raspberries, or whatever, you're going to find one berry that you do like eventually. Okay, so Bob's your uncle. Now, that is what I've got for dinner tonight. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, all of this is going to amount to, I believe, 972 calories. Let me just check. I'll do that at the end. Now, what am I actually going to break my fast on? If I'm completely honest with you, I'm not that hungry right now. I might go inside and change my mind. But as we are talking right now, I'm not too hungry. And so I've always said, if you're not hungry, don't eat. Only eat when you are hungry, because you will inevitably get hungry at some point of the day. So if you're on a diet, don't fucking eat if you are not hungry. That is the dumbest thing in the whole entire world. And I used to do that. And then what would happen is I would eat, and then it would get to like 3 hours later, and then I'd start to get hungry. I wouldn't be hungry. I would eat because it's lunchtime. Then 3 hours later, I would get hungry and then have to eat again and then overconsume the calories that I wanted to consume. And so don't go through the shit that I went through. Use my experience and my past to your advantage. And if you are ever not hungry and in a deficit, do not dare eat. Wait until you are hungry at least. Anyways, what have I got for lunch? What am I breaking my fast on? I've got some sweet and smoky barbecue chicken breast. This shit's ready made. It's a little bit more expensive than the stuff that you buy yourself and make it at home. But to be honest with you, money is time. And if I can save myself a little bit of time, I'm happy to pay £1 extra. It's convenient, it's high protein, it's low calorie, it's high volume. It's everything you want when you're on a deficit. But you're also gonna need it with something on the side. So what have I got here? I have a pot of all things cottage cheese, mango version. Now this isn't the lowest calorie option. There are better cottage cheeses that have lower calories, but I really enjoy this one. It's still got 22 grams of protein for I think like 200 calories. So 110 rule, all good. Protein to calorie ratio, all good. If you didn't understand, by the way, the 110 rule is the protein to calorie ratio. So 1 gram of protein for 10 calories, 110 rule. And then I'm gonna have these two together, which you always hear like, why is protein so good? Why is protein so important? It's important because it's gonna keep you full. And obviously when you're dieting, you wanna be kept full. You don't wanna be hungry. It's gonna happen, you will get hungry, fine, cool, but foods that are high in protein will help you keep you satiated. And I do also want a little bit of crunch, so I bought myself a bloody cucumber, mate. Now all of these three things together going to mean high protein, high volume. There's a lot here, and this is going to give me a little bit of fiber as well, which, you know, good to eat fiber. It's healthy and also makes you shit a little bit better. And this is also very low in calories. I think this whole thing is probably about 50, 60 calories. Probably won't have the whole thing with this, but have the rest maybe with my steak and broccoli, just to add a little bit of crunch in there. Cucumbers are foods that are always cute. You have a lot of vegetables that are very low in calories. They have a lot of water retention. That's what they're made out of. You'll find that in cucumbers, tomatoes, watermelon, melon, any berries. What else can I think of? Lettuce is very good. There's no water retention, but it's also very, very low calorie. You can get a whole bag of lettuce for like 10, 15 calories, and you know, have that with this. That actually would have been a good option. Maybe I should have done that instead. I know, maybe I got some of that inside. I'll change my mind if necessary. See, I'm already thinking, how can I make this food, how can I make this meal less calories? Because the less calories, the better. The less calories you eat, the more weight you lose, the quicker you get out of this deficit, the sooner you'll be on to eating more food. And we all know life is a lot better when you're eating food. Like recently, I've been preaching a lot about deficit, diet, discipline. You still need to diet, you still need to be disciplined when you are on a lean bulk, so it doesn't get too out of hand. You don't end up like me and what I did in the past and get up to 90 kilo, almost 20 kg heavier than I am today. But life is a lot more enjoyable. You don't need to worry too much about, you know, the fucking all of this kind of stuff. This is literally just if you are dieting and if you are trying to lose weight. You want to be really in a lean bulk. And you go through phases. I'll stick this for another video, but you go through phases. You go lean bulk, you go maintenance, you go cut, aggressive cut. And so this way you look good all of the time. I've got so much more to speak on this topic, but we'll do that for another time. I'll just put a mental note here that I want to talk about when to get on a lean bulk and what it means to be in a lean bulk and what you do differently compared to a diet. Anyway, we'll do that for another time. What else have I got in this bag? Now, the rest of this bag is basically, it's not what I'm eating today, but it's foods that I found had 0 to no calories, and I'll probably eat them over time. I usually buy all my shit that I'm going to eat on the same day, but if I see something that I'm like, yeah, that definitely is something that I'd probably eat tomorrow or the day after that, and it's on like Club Card or Nectar Card and you get a good price in it, then I will cop a few. So first and foremost, you've got these 0 sugar ketchups. Now, if you know me, I fucking drown my food in ketchup. So this is going to be huge for me. When I do chicken and broccoli together, I like to shred up the chicken, cut up the broccoli, mix it all together with salt and pepper, and put 100 grams of this, which sounds like quite a lot, and it is, it's a lot of volume, on my chicken and broccoli, but it's only about 40 calories, I believe. Yeah, exactly right, 40 calories per 100 grams. So this is a great food to add to your list of foods that, you know, tick off tick off the checklist that I gave you before. 0 calorie. It's not 0 calorie, it's just 0 sugar, basically. Ketchup. What else have we got in here? Now, I actually didn't know this until today, but I was looking at these Tabasco because tomorrow I've already planned out what I'm going to eat. Always good to plan ahead so you don't go over your calories. And I'm going to be eating tuna, 2 cans of tuna on its own for lunch. And I thought, I need to add a little bit of spice to that. Let me add a little bit of spice to that. And I thought Tabasco would be a great option, but I was like, shit, does it have many calories? Does it have much calories? What's the situation here? So I pick up the bottle and I see that this whole bottle in here has like 5 calories. Now, it's not the biggest bottle. It's quite small, but I'm probably going to do like that much for my tuna, which is like 3 calories. It's basically no calories. Whenever you're dieting, you always want to find foods that are basically no calories, that are going to help massively. This is just going to make my food a little bit tastier, a little bit spicier, gives it that little bit of oomph, you know. And it's like the same reason why I use a lot of salt and a decent amount of pepper sometimes. I never used to like pepper, but my girl put me on and I've never turned back. So, you know, salt, pepper, like spicy sauce, like no calories, mate. Add it to your food. Why the fuck not? Is it going to make it tastier? Yes. Do you want to make it the tastiest in the whole entire world? No. I've always preached that you don't want to have foods that are so highly palatable that they make you wanting more of them. You always want relatively bland food so that when you finish the meal, you're like, do you know what? I feel pretty satisfied. I don't want any more. And that's how you're able to stick to your deficit even better. And last but not least, this is something that I've never tried before. My brother, who has recently lost, he's on the program. I've been coaching him for about 4 months. He's been in a lean bulk for the past 2 months, and he's recently lost. When he first started, he lost about 8 kg in 8 weeks, and he's been absolutely smashing these. So I'm quite glad I get to try them out. Again, calorie to protein ratio is absolutely ridiculous. You've got 237 calories per 100 grams for 34 grams of protein. So, you know, smashes the 110 rule out the fucking park. And I also got a few shredded versions, shredded cheese. So basically, one serving is 52 calories and 10 grams of protein. That's basically 2 grams of protein for every 10 calories, which is unbelievable. So it's exactly what you want. Now, hello.
You didn't take the beans.
Oh, okay. I'm just finishing off this video. I'll be with you shortly. This is the end of the video, guys. So look, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got a bunch of value out of this, and I hope you really took in the information, because this, what I've just outlined for you today, is going to help you massively with dieting, with losing weight, with getting lean, with getting shredded for the summer. And if you did like this video, you know, leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Send me a DM on Instagram. Watch the stories where I'll be posting shit every single day over there, just going over my life. And if you want to talk about one-to-one coaching and hop on the program, you can book a call in the description below, and we can see if you're a good fit and if we'd be good working together. Thank you for watching. I've been Itai. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video.